Where to begin? Alrighty, well, we got through Empire Burlesque, right? That was the last review I did. Kind of a while back, I haven't done these in a while. But now let's talk about Knocked Out Loaded. It seemed like a lot of people were on this album. A lot of people backing vocals. Just a whole lot of people on this album. And some say Dylan wanted to, kind of get this done in a fast-paced way or whatever. And, he wanted to get these songs out. And, it's kind of became a whatever album. Now, the front cover, I really love that front cover. I believe it was something called the Spicy Tales. I guess it's some sort of like novel that came out back in 1939, but that's pretty cool. I do like that. Dylan was kind of, how he seems a little old school on things or whatever. Yeah, other than the front cover, that doesn't really save the album. This album is pure 80s Dylan. This is probably maybe even worse than Empire Burlesque. Oh man, you got horrible saxophone. You got kids singing, choir, a kid's choir singing in the background. This is not one of the greatest Dylan albums. Really, I can listen to the Dylan album any day over this album. Are you kidding me? Yeah, this album charted at 53, and it kind of did a little bit okay in the UK. I felt like maybe in other countries Dylan was a little bit more... I felt like more folks were definitely more eating up Dylan more than the US. I felt like there was definitely a big decline in Dylan's output at this time. It came out the summer of 86, 35 minutes. Most people seem to just say that this wasn't really his best. Norway, it hit number 9 in Norway, in the album. Anyways. Like I said, there's a strew of people on this album, including, of course, Anton Fig and Mike, Bent Montench from, the Heartbreakers, and Tom Petty himself, Carolyn Dennis and T-Bone Burnett. Everybody's on here. Mike Campbell, the whole gang, Ronnie Wood, the whole gang from the Heartbreakers. Yeah, they're all playing on that composition that Dylan and Petty wrote towards the end of the album. Phil Jones, Al Cooper, Al Perkins. So we got a lot of people on here. Engineering. See, that's the problem here, folks. Let me get back up here. That's the problem, folks, is that when you got so many people just within one recording session, that becomes a problem. That becomes a huge issue, right? But I feel, to me, though, with Bridges to Babylon, that's a little bit more different. I know there was a lot of people on that album, but it seemed to work. It worked exactly how it should on Bridges to Babylon. But this album, are you kidding me? And this is the pure 80s. This is the 80s. This is like in the mints of the 80s for Dylan here. And anyways, let's kind of get into the album. So it starts off with "You Wanna Ramble." This is kind of an old blues song done by Little Junior Parker. It's just got that. It's got that John Mellencamp. It's got that Bruce Springsteen. It's kind of boogie woogie. But we talk about great openers. You want to go back to some of the great Dylan albums, the great Dylan openers. You had freaking Like a Rolling Stone, great opener. Rainy Day Woman, Tangled Up in Blue, Hurricane, Changes of the Guard. Gotta Serve Somebody. But yeah, no, this is not a. The other album you had Tight Connection to My Heart as the opener to the previous album. Now you got You Wanna Ramble, which sounds a little. If you want to talk about You Wanna Ramble, Dylan rambles so much that it just makes the song so uninteresting. It's boogie woogie, just bull crap, 80s. Bruce Springsteen, Mellencamp, all that kind of stuff blended in, and you get this crap, and it's not great. Okay, I hate to say that. Oh God! Then the second song. This is an old Chris Christopherson song. Now it was off of his album that came the same year as Knocked Out Loaded, which is called Repossessed or Uppossessed or something like that. And it's They Killed Him. Oh God! With that horrible saxophone, that's in there. Oh God! Oh my God! You know a man named Mahatma Gandhi? God. Even the Chris Christopherson version. But this has to be, if any other version, Dylan, this is pretty bad. Yeah, cheesy snare. I mean, really, just the echoing, horrible, horrid drums, reverb drums within this whole song. And then you got the kids' choir in the background of all this that makes things even just irritable, not even listenable. To me, this is like, oh my God, with the horrible saxophone, the horrible horns in this song, and it almost becomes a joke basically when the kids come in. I mean, that's kind of like the cherry on top. The whole joke of it all is like these kids singing this, repeating that. You heard a man named Mahatma. It's just. Oh my God. The lyrics are kind of okay, but I cannot stand that kids' choir in the background. It's just irritating, so bad. Then you get track 3, which sounds like Blue Monday by New Order, or it sounds like These Dreams Are Made of This by the Eurythmics. Like, what is Dylan trying to be? Is he trying to appease the audience here and try to be a little cool and hip or whatever? And the song's called Drifting Too Far From Shore. God. I want to talk about that beat in the beginning of the song. It sounds exactly like Blue Monday by New Order. That only came out just a few years before this album. But man, it's just, I don't like the vocals. I do like Carolyn Dennis's background, but it does not save, I don't know. Doesn't save anything within this horrid song. You and me, we had completeness. I give you all of what I could provide. We weren't on the wrong side. Sweetness, we were the wrong side. We were the wrong side. I've already ripped out the phones, honey. You can't walk the streets in a war. I can finish this alone, honey. You're drifting too far from shore. That's okay, but when you got that really bad production in this, it's pretty bad. I don't know. Okay, and then after that song is a traditional song, but it was arranged by Bob Dylan, called Precious Memories. Oh God, this is. Yeah, it was written back in 1877. The song. Well, excuse me. The guy who wrote it was J.B.F. Wright, who was born in 1877, but the song was written in 1925. Yep. A lot of people seem to covered it. Most people had covered this. Oh God. It's supposed to be this gospel type song, and he just makes it like this island, this whole, I don't know, occasion, whatever you want to call this bull crap. Sounds like something that Jimmy Buffett would probably sing. Maybe he would have sung it better than Dylan. And I think to me, he probably would have done it way better than Dylan. Yeah, it's pretty much the reggae crap that Dylan was trying to pull off here, Precious Memories. I mean, the way he sings it, and just, I don't know. I'm telling you, folks, I don't really care about that song. There you have it. But I do kind of like this song. This song's okay. That's the last track on side 1, Maybe Someday. I like the lyrics to the song, too. Maybe someday you'll be satisfied. When you've lost everything, you'll have nothing left to hide. When you're through running over things like you're walking across the tracks, maybe you'll beg me to take you back. Maybe someday you'll find out everybody's somebody's fool. Maybe then you'll realize what it would have taken to keep me cool. Maybe someday when you're by yourself alone, you'll know the love that I have for you was never my own. I like it. It's kind of okay. I do like the guitars. It's kind of a cool groove. It's kind of a cool, kind of a mellow kind of gospel song. Then we get to side 2. Now this is like the most ascend God, heaven ascend track. I mean, this is like the saving grace of the album. And it's Brownsville Girl. Now originally this was actually called Downville Girl or Dawnville. I believe it was just called Downville, as a sequel to Woody Guthrie's song back in the 50s, or I think it was like 1950 or something like that. And it's collaborated with Sham Shepard, who was a pretty big playwright. It said on his thing that he did like almost 80 plays or whatever. So he's a pretty big deal. I don't really. That's the thing. Like, everybody seems to really, really think that this is like the best song since Visions of Johanna or something like that. And really, it's not. It's pretty lacking, I think, in my opinion. I mean, sure. I mean, everyone's got their opinions on stuff, especially with Dylan. But to me, I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of Brownsville Girl. It's kind of just whatever it is. I mean, the lyrics are kind of just like twisted in a way. And it's kind of like, it's not like the best song. But the last 2 verses here I do kind of like. They're supposed to be based on fact he references Gregory Peck, one of his movies or whatever. There was a movie I seen one time. I think I sat through it twice. I don't remember who I was or where I was bound. All I remember it started Gregory Peck. So it's kind of like what he says in the beginning there about in the first verse where he says, well, there was this movie I seen one time about a man riding across the desert, and it started Gregory Peck. And he kind of goes back again about all I remember about it was it started Gregory Peck. He wore a gun and he was shot in the back. Seems like a long time ago, long before the stars were torn down. Brownsville girl with her Brownsville curls, teeth like pearls shining like the moon above. Brownsville girl, you show me all around the world. Brownsville girl, you're my honey love. But yeah, I mean, I don't get why people think that this is the greatest thing. You know what I mean? It's like nothing could ever beat any. I mean, even whatchamacallit? Oh God, from Highway 61. Ballad of a Thin Man. I mean, people are comparing that to what? To Like a Rolling Stone or something. It's like, come on now. But I guess I don't even. Sam Shepard's a big, big whip-de-doo. But it's just when you got him and Dylan, it's like, okay, but this is. I know people are saying, oh, Brownsville Girl is the saving grace. No, this song that comes after Brownsville Girl is the saving grace, and it's probably the best song on the damn album. And it's got my mind made up. Man, this is a perfect song. This is Tom Petty and Bob Dylan here, and they performed this song during that tour they had. I think it's the True Confession tour from '86. Absolutely killing it. I mean, you got the whole Heartbreakers here. You got Ronnie Wood. This is a really good damn song. It's only 2 minutes and 53 seconds, but it just rocks all the way through. I love it. Got my mind made up. It's just got that American Girl feel. It's got that drums, You definitely tell that the Heartbreakers are there. It just sounds like a really meaty song other than Brownsville Girl. Yeah, really good, really, really great song. I love that song. Got my mind made up. Mind made up. The best song on the damn album, I think, Okay, and then to end the album is Under Your Spell. Now, Dylan wrote this with Carol Bayer Sager, which she was a pretty big songwriter herself, you know. And this song's pretty good. I mean, it's kind of lightweighted, a little bit, you know, it's not like the best thing, like I said, you know, of any of these songs. But I do like these last couple of, like the last couple of stanzas. Turn back, baby, wipe your eye. Don't think I'm leaving here without a kiss goodbye. Baby, is there anything left to tell? I'll see you later when I'm not so out of my head. Maybe next time I'll let the dead bury the dead. Ooh. Baby, what more can I tell? Well, the desert is hot, the mountain is cursed. Pray that I don't die of thirst. Baby, 2 feet from the well. I love that song. It's a little bit, I feel like Dylan was a little bit catching up a little bit onto his religious imagery or whatever. But yeah, it's a pretty decent ender. But talk about Dylan entering the 80s. I don't know. I mean, I'm not really looking forward to the album after that. But I don't know, that's all I can say, folks. I mean, I'm not that huge on this album. You know, it's just kind of Dylan getting sucked into the 80s production and all, you know. Man, Bob Dylan trying to... That has got to be the most bizarre thing that you could ever think. Like, who would ever think Dylan attempting to do New Order? Blue Monday. Wow. I guess within the 80s anybody could do... they're... You know, the possibilities, right? You know. Anyways, folks, I'm not a big fan of this period of Dylan here. I mean, the mid '80s all the way up to like maybe '88, and I can't wait till we get to Oh Mercy. That was definitely his return to getting back on the path there. But yeah, that's all I can say. Not a great album, you know. Do like that front cover though. Okay, folks. But let me know. Let me know if you like this album. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the album, so there you go. Okay, folks. Bye-bye.